went in my room and just passed out. I think it was either like an hour and a half or 2 hours, but I was just like, I was out. I was just fucking exhausted.
You're alone again. I shouldn't be thinking of you, thinking of me. I know you're not.
Greetings, people. This is Mike, and this is the Daily Bread podcast, the weekly bread where I talk to you about me. Today, I'm gonna talk about the getting the second shot. So, in scientific theory, I am fully vaccinated. I guess that's one way to put it. I got my second shot last week, and I'm gonna talk about how that went. Um, Before that, you should go and subscribe to my Instagram channel, which is Your Daily Bread, BRED. And that's where I do daily posts. I've been doing them every single day since November 11th, 2017. I've been drawing hand-drawn goodness since that date. And then I have also other little random things that I do, like reels and um, Instagram stories. I always post a lot about just, again, always random shit. But yeah, so today I'm gonna talk about the vaccine, and I wasn't planning on getting it for a while. Like I thought that for me, I wasn't gonna be able to get it until like maybe August or September of this year. And I had an opportunity come up where I could go and get the first shot. So I felt kind of bad, and I think a lot of people have said this, where my thing was, well, I don't want to go and get the shot and take it away from somebody else who needs it. And then I just kept talking to people. They're like, just fucking get it, because the more people who have this, the better off it's going to be. And I even talked to a doctor, and he's like, don't feel bad, just do it. So I was like, okay. So I signed up. I got the first shot about 3 weeks or well, now it's like 3 weeks ago. And that one, I guess, so I got the Pfizer shot. I signed up for Wake Med here in Raleigh. So they have a My Chart, and I'm in the system, so I just went on My Chart and I signed up. And that one wasn't that was easy, and there was nothing really crazy that happened after that. I did get a slight headache that night, and I woke up with a little bit of chills, but it was super minor. And so I kept hearing about the second shot, and I kind of heard in the background that it was people are getting fucked up by it, just getting sick, and for about 8 hours after, or like it would kick in about 12 hours after, and it would last for 8 hours and just make you feel like complete shit. And I'd heard people say that, but then when it really got in my face is my friends started to get it, and then they get the second shot, and then they were texting me like, "Oh my God, I fucking this thing kicked my ass." So that's when it made it real. Like, oh shit, I'm probably gonna get fucked up by this thing. And like my one friend Beth sent me a text. So it's funny because you see the people post the card with showing that they get their second shot, but what you're not seeing is the behind the scenes of the next day where they're just confined to their bed and super fucked up. So my friend Beth posts her card, and then she texts me. She's like, "Yo, this thing just kicked my ass," and it took like I think she said it was a full day, like on the like literally. I think she got it at 2 o'clock the previous day, and then like exactly 2 o'clock the next day, it hit um, exactly the time, and then it just laid her out. And then my buddy Tom, he got super tired, like he was just exhausted, and his wife Tara, she had the chills, but she worked through it all day, and so it was across the board just different. And what I heard is that more the better your immune system is, the more fucked up you're gonna get because it's just your immune system is stronger. So there's like more, I don't know, soldiers that are gonna go attack this thing that's not actually the virus. It's kind of like I guess what they say, it's like the protein that acts like the virus, so your body gets used to just beating the shit out of it. So I was really nervous to get the shot, and I cleared off my Thursday. I was like, all right, I'm not planning anything. I'll probably just like lie in bed all day, which I fucking hate doing. I hate being idle. I don't, even if it's a weekend, I can like sit on my couch and do jack shit. But typically, I like to just constantly be doing something, and I don't know why. I have no idea why. I just can't lay around. Like I get massive FOMO and I have to go out and do stuff. So I wasn't too excited to potentially lay in my bed all day on Thursday, but I was like, all right, whatever. So what I did to prepare, I heard to drink a lot of water. So I got my shot at 10 a.m. on last Wednesday, and I bought Tylenol, I bought Powerade, and that was it because they said don't take anything besides Tylenol. And I had asked the nurse, should I take it after? I was like, can I take it before I get any symptoms? And it's like my head was I wasn't really focused, and I heard her say I thought I heard her say no, but if you want to do a preemptive measure to not get the headaches, then yes. That's what I heard. So I could be wrong. I did hear if you take Tylenol before you get the shot, that can fuck everything up. I also the night before I didn't. Yeah, the night before I think I did go out. I think I did have a few drinks, but the night of, I was like, I'm not touching any alcohol because I had another friend who did that and he got that really fucked him up. So I got the Tylenol. I didn't take it until about 4:30 that night. So I got the shot at 10, and around 4:30, I was like, you know what, this thing potentially is going to kick in 12 hours, at 12 hours from when I got it. So I was expecting it to kick in at 10. So 4:30, I just took a Tylenol just in case, and this was one for body aches and headaches. So I took that and I just drank a ton of water. I mean, I have a clean canteen that's 27 ounces. I must have drank five of them throughout the entire day. So I was totally hydrated, ready to rock. And that night, I ate dinner. I cooked. I forget what it was, but it was just like, healthy. There was no, um, I don't like buying anything boxed. So it was just like, what the fuck did I have? I think it was like just chicken and vegetables or something like that. And so then 10 o'clock rolls around and I'm not feeling anything. I was like, "Ugh, fuck, this is gonna totally kick in when I go to sleep." And so I go to bed. Go to bed at like around 11:30, and I wake up at 2 in the morning and I was like, oh, here we go. So my body just felt hot. I didn't have a headache because I think it was because I had all the water. And my body just felt like hot, like not burning hot, but it just felt like it was kind of like if it's a summer night and you're under the comforter and you're sleeping and you wake up and you're like, oh, and you just like you throw your blanket off. It was like that kind of hot, but it wasn't unbearable. But I was really weak and I was really achy. But another thing too is that I worked out on Monday or on Tuesday, and there was we did like a lot of leg stuff. We go to this CrossFit in town and we did a lot of leg stuff. So and a lot of ab stuff. So by the time Thursday came around, it's usually day two after working out. It's always when it's gonna fuck you up. And sure enough, everything that was aching was all the muscles that I was working. So I couldn't tell if it was just that or if it was the vaccine. But I definitely felt tired. Like I was weak, but I wasn't like I could get up and, go take a piss and I could make it there fine. But I was like, okay, let me just go back to bed. And I woke up around I think like 7:30 and I still felt a little off, but it wasn't super awful. And I walked out to my couch and sat down and pulled my laptop out and then like every day like every morning I would start off by drawing my comic and I did that. So I posted that and I also have another podcast that I do about the late 90s punk scene called This Was the Scene and I do the teaser for that. So I did that and put that out and I was just being productive and I was like, well, I can get shit done and like I said I don't like being idle. So I just started working on things and then my buddy Dave was in town and he was in town with his wife and his kids. They came up just for a couple days because they had a couple days off. 'Cause they teach and they were on spring break. And the day before, he was asking me to hang out. I was like, yeah, I don't really want to chance it. And so when I woke up feeling like shit, he said, hey, we're gonna be back in downtown. Do you want to meet up? And I was like, I think so. Let me just know what time you're gonna be in downtown. And so at that point, I think that was around like 8:39 a.m. And at this point, I'm coming up to 12 hours or 24 hours, and it was also about 8 hours after because if I kicked in around 2 a.m. and I heard that this thing lasts about 8 hours of just beating you up. So around 10 o'clock, I was like, I feel kind of, I wouldn't say better, but I can function. And I ended up going to grab a coffee, and I walked up the street, I'm a block away from Videri Chocolate, which is has a coffee, has black and white coffee inside their establishment. So I got one of those nitro cold brew, the bomb. And so I grabbed one of those, and I was like, I'm feeling kind of decent. So then I just drove down to meet them and hung out with them for about an hour, just talking and bullshitting and catching up because I haven't seen him in forever. And then I got home, and I could just feel I was just super exhausted. So I kind of pushed through it, got a couple of projects done, and then I just like went in my room and just passed out. I think it was either like an hour and a half or 2 hours, but I was just like, I was out. I was just fucking exhausted. And then when I woke up, I was fine. And so then I went and got barbecue later that night, and I went to Sam Jones, which is just opened up in Raleigh. It's fucking amazing barbecue. And so I was sitting at the bar waiting. I was like, I probably shouldn't do this, but like I ordered a bourbon and just sipped on it. And the Masters were on, so I'm like watching that and drinking bourbon and coming out of it. So yeah, so it wasn't awful, and I'm 41, so I've heard that the thing that I heard is that again with the whole immune system, the younger you are, the better it is. So I've heard that people in their 20s or when they get this thing, it like just lays them out. And I did talk to my friend. She got hers this like literally the same exact time I did from the same exact place, and she said and she's in her 20s, so she said the next day that like it really fucked her up that night. Um, but then she was fine. So, so that's if you haven't had the shot. So that again, it was Pfizer. Mine took about a little over 12 hours to kick in. I drank a lot of water. I didn't drink at all that day. I did eat, and but yeah, I just felt a little hot. Definitely felt tired. Felt achy, but also had worked out. So I don't know. Like, hopefully this is informative for anyone who hasn't gotten it yet and is like concerned. But again, it's different across the board. So it's just like this fucking virus. I mean, it's different for everybody. So whatever happened to me, that does not mean it's gonna happen to you. But anyone I talk to, it's like you basically just get like a day off, essentially, and then you come out of it. And then my little sister said she was gonna go get hers, and she's in her 20s, and she was gonna get the Johnson& Johnson one, but apparently that one's giving females from 18 to 40 blood clots. So they stopped giving that one out apparently, and that was the one she was gonna get. So now she's not sure when she's gonna get hers. But I was like, Jesus Christ, that's crazy. So yeah, I don't think I've heard, I don't remember hearing much about the Johnson& Johnson one. Just the only two that I've heard about are Moderna and Pfizer. They're the ones that have been injected in people since December, or November. I think it was December. And but that other one, AstraZeneca or something. I think that one's like fucking people up. But I didn't have a choice. I just showed up and they were like, okay, you're gonna get the Pfizer one. I was like, okay, I guess, cool. So, but yeah. So that's my story about getting it. I don't. I'm not an advocate for people getting it. I'm not an advocate for people not getting it. I think if people don't want to get it, then that's their choice. I think, I mean, it is pretty risky to get something that was slapped together in a year, but I think science is pretty far advanced these days. So I kind of just hopefully I trusted it and hopefully things work out in the long run. But yeah, so that's my experience. So that's it. Uh, Other than that, you should check out my couple checklist book. It's online. It's on yourdailybread.com, BRED, for bread. You can check out my Instagram, and I don't really have anything else going on for now. I'm just still trying to just push that new book. So it's great for couples who are looking to find out about each other. It's great for a gift for somebody who's getting married, or if you are getting married, it's pretty fun that you can give out to your wedding party. I think that would be a great idea. So, all right, I'm gonna hit stop